A new memo from ICE just changed the rules of immigration enforcement in America. If you're living in the United States on any visa or planning to move here, what happened this week could affect your daily life in ways you never imagined. Stay until the end. This is something every immigrant needs to understand right now. Welcome back to Immigration Fresh Updates, where we bring you honest, clear immigration news you can trust. Today, we're discussing something that's causing real concern in immigrant communities across America. The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, known as ICE, just released a memo that expands their authority to make arrests without traditional warrants in certain situations. Whether you're a student, a worker, a green card holder, or someone planning to immigrate to the U.S., this affects you. In this video, I'll explain what this memo means, why it's happening now, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself and stay informed. Let's dive in. So let's start with the basics. What exactly does this new ICE memo say? In simple terms, it gives ICE officers broader authority to arrest individuals without needing a judicial warrant in certain circumstances. Previously, there were more restrictions on when and where ICE could make arrests. Now, those boundaries have been expanded. This means ICE can potentially conduct arrests in more locations, including areas that were previously considered sensitive, like near schools, hospitals, and places of worship. The memo emphasizes public safety and national security as justifications. But for many immigrants living legally in the U.S., this feels like a step backward. Here's what you need to understand. This doesn't mean ICE can randomly arrest anyone. There still needs to be a reason, usually related to immigration violations or criminal activity. But the process has become less restrictive, and that's what's raising alarm bells in communities nationwide. For students on F1 visas, workers on H-1B visas, families waiting for green cards, and even people with pending asylum cases, the fear is real. Because when enforcement becomes more aggressive, even people following the rules can get caught up in situations they never expected. It's not about guilt or innocence anymore. It's about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that uncertainty is what makes this so frightening for millions of people. You're probably wondering, why now? Why is the U.S. government making these changes? The answer is rooted in politics, public pressure, and policy priorities. First, immigration has become one of the hottest political topics in America. With elections approaching and border security dominating headlines, politicians are under pressure to show they're taking action. This memo is part of a broader strategy to demonstrate tougher enforcement. Whether you agree with it or not, it's a political move designed to appeal to certain voters. Second, there's been increased focus on removing individuals with criminal records or those deemed threats to public safety. The government argues that expanded authority helps them act faster in these cases. But here's the problem. When you expand enforcement powers, it doesn't just affect the people breaking laws. It creates an environment of fear for everyone, including those who are here legally and contributing positively to society. Third, there's a shift in how immigration is being viewed at the federal level. The current administration has made it clear that enforcement is a priority. That means more resources for ICE, more arrests, and unfortunately, more uncertainty for immigrant communities. Here's the reality. This isn't about you personally. You're not the target. But when the net is cast wider, more people get caught in it. And that's why, even if you're doing everything right, even if your visa is valid and your paperwork is perfect, you still need to be aware and prepared. Because the rules of the game have changed, and staying informed is your best protection. Let's talk about international students, because this group is feeling especially vulnerable right now. If you're studying in the U.S. on an F1 visa, you chose America for its world-class education, its opportunities, and its promise of a better future. But this memo creates new concerns. Students often live in communities, travel between states for internships, and navigate complex visa rules while trying to focus on their studies. The fear now is that increased enforcement could lead to situations where students are questioned, detained, or even arrested due to minor visa technicalities or misunderstandings. Imagine you're driving to campus and get pulled over for a traffic violation. Under the new memo, if ICE gets involved and finds any issue with your visa status, even something as simple as working slightly over your authorized hours, the consequences could be severe. It's not that you intentionally broke the law, it's that the enforcement net is tighter now. International students also worry about their families. Many come from countries where their parents saved for years to send them to America. The thought of being sent back before completing a degree or facing legal issues that could derail future opportunities is devastating. But here's what I want you to remember. Knowledge is power. Stay compliant with every visa rule. Keep all your documents updated. Avoid situations that could raise red flags. And most importantly, know your rights. You have legal protections, even in difficult situations. Don't panic, but do prepare. Now let's talk about skilled workers, the engineers, doctors, nurses, tech professionals, and countless others who keep America's economy running. If you're on an H-1B visa, L-1 visa, or any work-based visa, this memo affects you too. Many skilled workers live in the U.S. for years, pay taxes, contribute to their communities, and follow every immigration rule. But under expanded enforcement authority, even minor issues can spiral into major problems. A gap in employment, a delay in visa renewal paperwork, or even an employer making a filing mistake could put you at risk. The stress is compounded by the fact that work visa holders often have families depending on them. Your spouse might be on a dependent visa. Your children might be in school here. The fear of separation, of being detained, or of having your life uprooted is real and valid. And here's the harsh truth. ICE doesn't always differentiate between someone who overstayed a visa intentionally and someone who had a paperwork delay. When enforcement is prioritized, nuance gets lost. You become a case number, not a person with a story. But don't lose hope. The vast majority of people on valid work visas are not targets. What you need to do is stay vigilant. Keep copies of all your documents. Have an immigration lawyer's contact information saved. Make sure your employer is compliant with all sponsorship requirements. And if anything feels uncertain, seek professional advice immediately. You worked hard to be here. Protect that. Family-based immigration is the heart of America's immigration system. But this new memo is creating anxiety even for people with green cards and those waiting for family reunification. If you're a green card holder, you might think you're safe. But green cards can be challenged or revoked under certain circumstances, especially if there are criminal issues or if you're accused of immigration fraud. With expanded ICE authority, the risk of being questioned or detained, even temporarily, has increased. For families waiting to bring loved ones to the U.S., the memo adds another layer of uncertainty. Sponsorship requirements are already strict. Now, the fear is that even small mistakes in applications could lead to denials, or worse, enforcement actions against the sponsor. Parents are worried about their children. Spouses are worried about separation. Elderly relatives who came here for better health care are afraid of being targeted. It's not just about paperwork anymore. It's about whether your family can stay together. Here's what you can do. Make sure all your documentation is perfect. If you have a green card, avoid any situations that could jeopardize it. Don't commit crimes. Don't misrepresent information. And don't overstay any travel outside the U.S. If you're sponsoring family members, work with experienced immigration attorneys. The system is less forgiving now, so every detail matters. Your family deserves to be together. Fight for that with preparation and vigilance. Here's something crucial that every immigrant in the U.S. needs to know. You have rights. Yes, even with this new memo, you still have legal protections. And knowing them could make all the difference. First, you have the right to remain silent. If ICE approaches you, you don't have to answer questions about your immigration status or where you were born. You can politely say, "I wish to remain silent." Second, you do not have to let ICE into your home unless they have a judicial warrant signed by a judge. An ICE warrant is not the same as a judicial warrant. You can ask to see the warrant through a window or under the door. If it's not signed by a judge, you don't have to open the door. Third, you have the right to speak to a lawyer. If you're detained, ask for an immigration attorney immediately. Don't sign anything you don't understand. Don't agree to anything without legal advice. Fourth, document everything. If ICE contacts you, try to remember badge numbers, names, and what was said. This information can be crucial if you need to challenge anything later. I know this sounds scary, and it is. But knowing your rights is empowering. It gives you control in situations where you might feel powerless. Print out a Know Your Rights card. Keep it in your wallet. Share it with your family. Because in a moment of crisis, this knowledge could protect you and the people you love. So what should you do right now? How can you protect yourself and your future in the United States? Let me give you practical steps. First, get your documents in order. Make sure your passport, visa, I-20, I-797, work authorization, and any other immigration documents are current and easily accessible. Keep copies in multiple places: your phone, your home, your car. Second, consult an immigration lawyer. If you haven't already, find a reputable attorney who specializes in immigration law. Have their contact information saved. If something happens, you'll know who to call. Third, stay compliant. Don't give ICE any reason to target you. Follow every visa rule. Don't work without authorization. Don't overstay. Don't misrepresent anything on applications. Stay clean, stay legal, stay smart. Fourth, build a support network. Connect with immigrant organizations in your community. Join groups that provide legal assistance and resources. You're not alone. There are people and organizations fighting for immigrant rights every day. Fifth, stay informed. Follow channels like Immigration Fresh updates. Immigration law changes constantly, and being aware of new policies can help you make better decisions. And finally, don't live in constant fear, but do live with awareness. You deserve to build a life here. You deserve to feel safe. So take these steps, protect yourself, and keep moving forward with confidence. Before we finish, I want to hear from you. Comment below and tell me, where are you watching from, and how do you feel about this new ICE memo? Thank you for watching Immigration Fresh Updates. I know this news is unsettling, but remember, you are stronger than any policy. You've already overcome so much to be where you are. Don't let fear stop you. Stay informed, stay prepared, and stay hopeful. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who needs to see it. Let's support each other through these challenging times. And tell me in the comments, what's your biggest concern about immigration right now? Stay strong. I'll see you in the next video.